Do you have persistent negative thoughts that are making it difficult for you to manifest your desires? Then make sure to watch this video until the end, because today we're going to fix that. What's up, superheroes? Welcome back to my channel, the place where we make the impossible possible. I'm Scarlet Grace from Seraph.com. I'm a manifestation coach, and today's video is all about persistent negative thoughts. Where they come from, why they're so persistent, and how to free yourself from them so that you can easily focus on manifesting your desires. If you're new here and you want to learn how to manifest any desire fast with the law of attraction and Neville Goddard's teachings, then start now by hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you won't miss any video that could change your life. And if you need some extra help or my personal advice for your situation, email coaching is now available. You'll find the links in the description below. I also have a 21-day course on how to manifest your specific person. So if that's what you're looking for, then click the link in the description to check it out. So one of the most common questions I get asked by people all the time is what to do when you have persistent negative thoughts. So you want to manifest something, it doesn't matter what it is, and you do everything right, and then you try to have a positive mental diet, to have thoughts that come from the end, from already having that desire. But what happens instead for many people is that they keep having intrusive negative thoughts and it feels like a losing battle. So the thought will pop up and it will be negative and you will try to push it away and then it will come back, and this will happen again and again and again during the day, all day, every day. And many of you think that when this is happening that it's a lost cause and that you will never manifest your desire. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is that it's okay. This happens to a lot of people, and there are reasons why this is happening, and there are solutions for it. So if you're in that camp, if you belong to those people that have intrusive negative thoughts that do not allow them to manifest their desire, it's okay and we can fix it. You don't have to worry about it. It does not mean that your desire will not manifest. It does not mean that you're a failure. It does not mean that you will never succeed in manifesting your desire. Alright? So give yourself permission to have those thoughts and relax about it. Because the more you push against something, the more persistent it becomes. It's okay, you can have those thoughts. They're not going to ruin everything right now. And there is an easy solution. You can fix this, and it doesn't mean that you are not by nature capable of manifesting, because you manifest all the time. You've manifested everything around you, whether that's things that you desire to have in your reality or not. Manifesting is something natural. You cannot ruin it, okay? So this is the first step on how to deal with intrusive negative thoughts. So how are we actually going to change this? It's very simple. Whenever you have persistent, intrusive negative thoughts about something, this is an indication that there is some kind of limiting belief happening. There is some kind of limiting belief that you have, and that is why you keep having persistent negative thoughts. There is something deeper there. There is some belief that creates those negative thoughts to come into your mind again and again and again and again. So, the first step is to figure out what this negative belief is. So, the next time you start having intrusive negative thoughts about how your desire is not going to manifest, whether that's a specific person you want to manifest, or money, or I don't know, a trip, or whatever it is you want to manifest, whatever your desire is, whenever you start having those intrusive, persistent negative thoughts, stop. Tell yourself it's okay to have those thoughts. Right now, they are going to be useful to me, because right now they're going to help me figure out what that deeper limiting belief is that I have that is creating all of them. So, examine those thoughts and ask yourself, what belief those thoughts reflect. And this is something that you actually know, and this is something that we usually don't want to admit to ourselves. So if, for example, you want to manifest a specific person, let's say you want to manifest your ex back, and you start having intrusive negative thoughts about how this is never going to happen, and they're never going to love you again, and they're never going to want to be with you again, and stuff like that. So maybe the limiting thought is that you're not good enough, that you do not deserve to be loved, or that you do not deserve to be in a happy relationship. But this is something, the limiting thought is something that you know what it is, even if you do not want to accept it, because it is probably something that you have thought in the form of an intrusive negative thought many times in the past. So go through that kind of questioning to yourself and ask yourself, am I having these thoughts because deep down I believe that I'm not worthy of love? Am I having these thoughts because I believe deep down that this person will never love me again? Am I having those thoughts because I believe I'm not good enough? And maybe it's more than one limiting thought that we're looking for here. So all those intrusive, persistent negative thoughts may be the result of more than one limiting belief. So write down the limiting beliefs that come up when you ask yourself, why am I having those thoughts? What do I believe deep down that is creating this kind of thinking? So you write those beliefs down so that we can change them. And it is easy to change your limiting beliefs, and I've made many videos about it in the past, but basically the process is you write the limiting beliefs down, and then for each limiting belief you come up yourself with something that states the opposite of that belief. In other words, the limiting belief is how your reality works right now, and you don't want that. So you ask yourself, how would I like things to work? So for example, if you have the belief that I'm not worthy of love, you can change that into what you want to happen in your reality and what would support a positive mental diet so that you could manifest the desire you're trying to manifest right now. So maybe the belief you want to replace this limiting belief with is something along the lines of, it is easy for people to love me. This is a positive belief. This is going to support your goal of manifesting this person. Or if your goal is to manifest a lot of money and you believe that deep down, you believe that you're truly not good at making money. I mean, if you always believe that you sucked at making money, you can take this belief and turn it into money flows to me easily and in a natural manner, or money flows to me abundantly. I'm truly good at making money. It is natural for me to make money. Any of those. Choose the one that resonates with you. Choose the one that makes you feel good. Choose the one that when you say it, or when you hear it, or when you read it, it makes you go, it makes you feel relief. Okay? So, for each limiting belief that you identify, come up yourself with a positive belief to replace that limiting belief with. Now write all those beliefs on a piece of paper so that you can read them to yourself, the positive ones, not the negative ones. Write them all down on a piece of paper so that you can read them to yourself every morning as soon as you wake up and every evening before going to bed. And you can spend 5 to 10 minutes reading those new beliefs to yourself. And something you can do to enhance this so that those limiting beliefs can be replaced with your new beliefs more easily is, while you read your new positive beliefs, you can add a little bit of visualization there. Now, you do not have to close your eyes and get it into a meditative state for those. You can just, as you read your list, pause after reading each new belief that you want to plant into your subconscious, and for just a few seconds, play a scene in your mind from this belief. So, for example, if the new belief is money flows to me easily and abundantly, or maybe your belief is I'm really good at making money. So spend 5 seconds playing a scene in your mind where you've just made a lot of money and someone is like, wow, man, I can't believe that you make money so easily. This is a superpower. I will need you to teach me how to do it because that's awesome. Okay? It can be short like that. It doesn't have to be extremely detailed because you want to keep this lighthearted so that you don't feel the pressure that this needs to feel so good and so realistic, because if you try to push it that hard and for many different beliefs, then those intrusive negative thoughts will come back. You want to be gentle with it and give time so that your subconscious can absorb the new belief. So just read each new belief to yourself every morning and spend 3 to 5 seconds playing a very short scene just once for each of those beliefs where you are already living in a reality where this belief is true. So if it's making money easily, it's the scene I just mentioned. If it is easy for people to love me, then you can be at a party and everyone loves you and someone is commenting on how people seem to instantly love you. It can be something like that. So this is what you do. You can also make a recording of those new beliefs and play it while you sleep so that when you sleep, your conscious mind does not intervene as much. So if you create a recording of those new beliefs and you play it at low volume while you sleep, then those beliefs are going to sink into your subconscious mind much faster and you will start manifesting from those beliefs. And the last thing that is very important and extremely effective when it comes to dealing with intrusive negative thoughts that keep persisting no matter how hard you try to push them away is revision. So if you have a negative belief that is the cause of all those persistent negative thoughts, then this belief started somewhere. At some point in your past, something happened that persuaded you that this limiting belief is actually real and true in your reality. For example, if you feel that it is not easy for people to love you, that you're a difficult person to love, and that's why your ex is not going to come back because they don't love you anymore, and you're surprised that they loved you in the first place, and blah, 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 then this belief comes from somewhere in your past. At some point, maybe it was a past relationship, maybe it was during your childhood, maybe it was because of how your parents treated you when you were a child. But at some point in your past, something happened that made you believe that, oh, I'm not an easy person to love and it's a surprise anyone loves me. Okay? So ask yourself, where did this start? So when you're feeling unloved, what kind of scenes from your past do you keep playing over and over to justify that, yes, you are indeed a very difficult person to love? Is it a scene from when you were 5 where your parents are telling you that you're not easy to love or they don't love you because you were naughty or something like that? Was it from a past romantic relationship? Or if it has to do with money, when did you decide that you're not good at making money? What happened? Maybe it was when you had a part-time job when you were 15, or maybe it was after graduating college. But at some point, something happened that persuaded you that, okay, I'm not the person that can make money. I'm just not good at making money. That's who I am. I suck at making money. So look for that part in your past, that scene from your past, that event from your past, where you decided that this is true. And then you're going to use Neville's revision technique. Now, a revision technique is a lot like an imagining session. But it is not for the future, it is for the past. It is a technique that you use to change something that happened in the past. So let's say that you have an event from your past where you decided that you're not good at making money, that you just suck at it. And let's say that this was at your first job after graduating college. You were having a conversation with your boss, and your boss said that it is very obvious that you do not have the first idea about making money and you will never be good at it. All right? So let's say that this was the source of the limiting belief that you suck at making money. So you take that event, you take that memory where you were talking with your boss and he said what he said back then, and you ask yourself, how would I have liked things to have happened that day? So come up with another version of that event. If you had a magic wand and could go into the past and change that event and replace what originally happened with something completely different, what would that be? How would things turn out? So you come up with an alternate version of that event that is something that is empowering instead of being something that creates limiting beliefs like, I'm not good at making money. So what memory could that be that would lead you to believe that you're actually naturally good at making money? So maybe you decide that you're having this conversation with your boss and your boss says, wow, I'm so happy I hired you because you're a natural at making money. Maybe that's what he said. So if you decide that this is what you want to have happened back then, you construct this imaginal scene with a new version of the event, just like you would construct any other imaginal scene. So it needs to be from a first-person perspective. You're looking out of your own eyes. You're not looking at yourself on a TV screen or something. And you construct every detail of that scene, making it as vivid as possible. Where you are, what sounds you can hear, what you're feeling, what the temperature in the room is, everything. And you construct this scene, making it as vivid as possible. And then you get yourself in a meditative state, a relaxed state. This can be done before sleep at night or at any other point during the day when you have a few moments to relax and meditate for a little bit and calm your mind and calm your body so that you can access your subconscious mind more easily. And when you've done that, you start playing this scene, this new version of the event in your mind. And when it's over, you play it again and again and again and again. And if you keep doing that, eventually, this new version of the event, this new memory that you constructed will replace the original memory in your mind. Because if you keep replaying it and if you make it vivid enough and if you infuse it with all the right emotions, then if you keep replaying it, your subconscious mind at some point will think that, okay, you keep replaying this memory. So if you have replayed it so many times and man, it feels so real, then this must be what really happened back then. And this will change everything. It will change that moment when the original limiting belief about not being good at making money was born. So anything that hinges on that belief of I suck at making money will just melt away, because suddenly the belief that got implanted about yourself in your subconscious mind that day is not I suck at making money. It is I'm extremely good at making money. So your brain will naturally grasp onto all other thoughts that validate this belief. In other words, instead of having intrusive thoughts about how you will never make money and this is hopeless and you will never manifest money and you will never manifest this new job and you will never manifest winning the lottery, you will never manifest anything that has to do with money and you will always be poor, your mind will start having intrusive positive thoughts about how you're so awesome at making money, and everything that happens in your reality that validates this belief that you're really good at making money even a little bit, your brain will naturally bring it to the forefront and say, see, I'm so good at making money, I just made $50 off this guy. Even for small things. So you will have much more naturally a positive mental diet if you change the event that created that limiting belief that is causing the intrusive negative thoughts right now in the first place. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, hit the like button and share so that other people who need this information can find it and be helped by it. And if you haven't already, then subscribe and hit the bell icon, because I put out new videos every Sunday to help you manifest an amazing life.